Welcome to the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. This is Bravo Banter with Kayla. This is episode 55, and it's all about the Vanderpump Rules drama, aka SCANDOVAL, details, and the latest developments. So you're probably used to me with my sister here. We do Bachelor recaps every Wednesday, but Friday is going just to be with the Bravo sister. Amy doesn't watch it. And so every week we're going to be covering Bravo headlines. We might have some special guests every once in a while. But today we are just covering Vanderpump Rules because there is so much. I feel like every hour I check my phone, there's something new. One other fun thing we're doing on Just Bravo Banter for now, we'll see if we like it, maybe bring it over to our regular episodes on Wednesday, is we have a voice recording system. I don't know. I feel so awkward just talking about myself. So I was like, okay, what if other Bravo fans put in their hot takes, questions, and be part of the podcast? And it just sounds like fun, right? I have like a little video or a voice memo that you can listen to. And then just the link is you just reply and talk just like you're texting. I've heard the cool new way to text is when you have your phone and you just voice memo and send it to people. And then that way, like I wish I had it as a teenager, because then if your like parents go on your phone, then there's no evidence. And I think that's genius. And also maybe what Tom Sandoval should have done a little bit to see if he could get away with this. But before we fully dive in, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube page, and also hit on the bell to get notifications so you can be the first one to see our new episodes Wednesday and Friday. And on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, rate, review. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We're very active specifically on TikTok and have our following of almost 10K. So come say hi, follow us. It's at Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod. Let's get into it. You might be wondering, what is SCANDOVAL? Actually, if you're here, you probably know all about it, but I love the SCANDOVAL term because it's Tom Sandoval's last name. Add a C, scandal, and a hashtag is born. So let's take a look at this small clip, just kind of giving you the basics of what SCANDOVAL is from our Wednesday episode with my sister. Let's watch. Oh, I actually saw this meme that's perfect. And it says, if you don't understand like what's going on with Vanderpump Rules and you want like a good comparison of why we're all freaking out. It's like if Chandler cheated on Monica with Rachel. This is from the TV show Friends. And has been lying to the whole friend group for 7 months. Let that sink in. Gosh. That's the level of deception here. So Tom Sandoval and Ariana Maddox have been a couple since, I want to say, season 3 of Vanderpump Rules, which is like, 2015? They've been in a relationship for about a decade. And Raquel has been a little bit newer to the cast, only the past 5 years or so. And her main storyline because the Vanderpump Rules is literally airing right now, her storyline is her and Tom Schwartz having a little thing together. Tom Schwartz is freshly divorced from Katie, and Katie doesn't really like it. And it's like this whole thing because of a rumor that started at Coachella last summer that Raquel and Tom were making out. Tom Schwartz was not even at Coachella. So it's a very weird rumor that they're just kind of leaning into. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, we find out that Tom Sandoval has been hooking up with Raquel since Coachella, and he was the actual Tom. That was the rumor. And his best friend Schwartz took the bullet for him and turned it into this whole fake storyline for what we're watching right now. So really, when the news came out, like, I feel like I'll always remember the day of, like, I just actually finished a shift at Shared News, looked on my phone, and Mark, you could ask my husband Marcus, like, I didn't speak to him for the rest of the day. I was so glued to my phone, trying to keep up with these updates, and it hasn't stopped. It's been almost a week now. It actually is almost exactly a week when this podcast comes out. So I have the details, the latest developments, the stuff that I would want to know, and it just makes it all so much more icky, but also like, we're Bravo fans. We're here for the mess, right? I think so. So how did Ariana find out? So she was actually at his cover band performance Wednesday night. The news dropped Friday. So she really barely had any time to herself before all of this went public. She was being the best girlfriend she could be, supporting Tom at the extras, something, whatever. Does anyone really care about his band? I don't think so. And she had his phone, and she was like taking pictures, videos, being the great supporter she is. And somehow she finds a video on his phone of a FaceTime between Tom Sandoval and Raquel Levies. And it is a FaceTime call of them basically sexting, touching. She's touching herself. He is screen recording the FaceTime. That's important to remember for some of these other crazy details coming out from Raquel's PR strategy. And so that is how she finds out, and then just all hell breaks loose within this cast. Here are some reasons that make Scandoval even more gross than just like an initial just cheating like allegation or cheating scandal. This is so much more than that. This has been going on for 7 months, and him and Ariana have a house together, have businesses together. They literally, for all intents and purposes, that's his wife. And he cheated on her with Raquel, who is also a close friend of Ariana's. In an anonymous post, it says, in an anonymous post from someone who is a friend of Ariana Maddox, they say, I have spent a lot of time with Ariana, Tom, and Raquel since last summer. No one had any idea this was happening. Ariana considered Raquel a close friend. Like every time we all went out, she was with us. That's what makes this so disgusting on Raquel's part. Ariana is the most genuine person and was completely blindsided by this. Tom and Raquel are completely on the outs, and the rest of the cast at this point, we are repulsed. And that kind of also brings me to my kind of my basic opinions. Who are we blaming here? Obviously, hashtag Team Ariana. But between Tom and Raquel, I have so much more ill will towards Tom Sandoval. And we'll kind of go more into that with their apologies. Tom had two. But Tom betrayed his life partner, the person you should trust the most. Raquel made a really crappy mistake, but she's not the one who's essentially married here. I think most of the blame should go on Tom Sandoval. That's kind of how I see it. Well, would I want to be friends with Raquel after this? Absolutely not. She's not going near my man. No. But I think I just want I don't think anyone should be sending them hate or anything like that, obviously. But I think most of the blame has to go to Tom Sandoval and just going after like the other woman, like I just feel like she should not be getting most of the heat, in my opinion. On top of that, Tom Sandoval and Raquel both had lightning bolt necklaces where they were like, it was like a hint, hint, nudge, nudge, like secret thing. Oh, we love each other. Yeah, they love each other, by the way. They have feelings. They might want to be together. Oh, gross. And also, Tom Sandoval dressed up as Raquel on Halloween, aka they were banging. Also, watching season 10 right now is so awkward. I actually watched the pilot of Vanderpump Rules tonight. I convinced my husband to do it. And the first line Tom Sandoval says is, I want to be famous. Be careful what you wish for, Tom. And it's just pretty crazy. And then now also watching the entire season of season 10, Raquel and Tom have this secret relationship. So now we're watching this all back, and it is so much ickier. Like I'm barely getting through this newest episode that just came out this week. Like it's rough. Raquel and Ariana have a like conversation of like, oh, like I thought I was gonna be mad at Raquel. Like, and then also all of the clips coming out, like Raquel and Scheana, their whole press day, Watch What Happens Live, literally hours before the news breaks, she's just lies upon lies. And then all of the Tom press, essentially, because this is also, it just like piles up. The main thing is Raquel is having a storyline right now with Tom Schwartz, the other Tom. And that leads me to the fact that Tom knew the whole time. And in these videos we're seeing back with press interviewing, everyone's asking Tom Schwartz about Raquel, and even asking Tom Sandoval about Raquel and Tom Schwartz. And there is no possible way. I feel like I've gotten some comments saying that they didn't think Tom Schwartz knew about it. Baloney. And Lisa Vanderpump even went on Watch What Happens Live on Wednesday and said, she's like, they're so close. There's no possible way that Tom Schwartz didn't know. And what to even like inception it even more is Tom Sandoval was at Coachella with Raquel. Now, the rumor on that's airing on season 10 right now is Tom Schwartz and Raquel potentially, supposedly, there's a rumor of them making out in Coachella, which they both denied. Guess who was at Coachella? Tom Sandoval. Raquel was making out with a Tom. That's where the rumor got started. And Schwartz took one for the team for Sandoval and just like took on the role of like something's going on with Schwartz and Raquel. And the fact that I think Schwartz was the only one who knew in the entire cast. So, I don't know, guilty by association? The Toms are terrible. They're terrible. And actually, from what I've seen, like, I mean, because I've deep dived, obviously, I don't think Schwartz has said a word since all of this has happened. So, very much looking forward to when he finally says anything, basically. So let's talk cast reactions, because that's really what got me glued to my phone so much. It's not just the initial news, it's the entire cast, except for Schwartz, like jumping on it. I would say specifically Lala the most. Her stories have been top notch. And apparently Ariana has given Lala permission to just go feral on Instagram. And I'm kind of loving it. Try to think, Lala, what does she do? She literally just going after, tagging Raquel, saying, like, she already was pretty upset with Tom Sandoval because actually Lisa Vanderpump, who, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, said it absolutely perfectly, because people are giving a lot of crap about Lala being so vocal and passionate about this when she was the other woman in her past marriage, and also just this season confessed to sleeping with James Kennedy while Raquel was in a relationship with him. I think this is such another level of deception. Here's the difference. Sandoval has repeatedly gone after Lala, and this is what LVP said, and about being honest, living your authentic life. And during this whole time, Tom Sandoval is the one who's been lying to everyone, and probably the most deceptive of the entire cast and the entire storyline since 2015, something like that. Like, I've been watching since the very beginning, and nothing has been to this level. So that's in defense to Lala. I think she saw through it, and now all of the cast members or ex-cast members from like kind of the OGs that got fired in that scandal a while back. I won't really talk about that. It's been hashed out. But Jax is now filming on Watch What Happens Live. Jax and Brittany, I believe. Kirsten Doty is filming Vanderpump Rules as a reaction to Scandoval, and has been super active and been with Ariana literally the day this happened. And Stassi, actually, a new podcast episode came out going after Tom Sandoval and saying that she always saw through him this whole season. Jack said something similar. They've been trying to tell people, like, Tom Sandoval, no. And that's also why I think Tom Sandoval has been so volatile towards Stassi and Jax, because they saw through him and he didn't like that. Someone else, Katie posted like a bunch of clown emojis. What else happened? Oh my God. And okay, so you know how Katie and Ariana are doing a sandwich shop, right? It's not out yet, but they came out with merch specifically in like the name of this whole Ariana thing. Lala has already come up with merch as well. I think another candle company did something that says Team Ariana and asked Ariana to choose a charity of her choice, and did Alexandria House, I believe. So all the proceeds of people buying this Team Ariana candle is going to like a charity. Like, this has become like CNN, New York Times is covering it. It's just like wild. And the funny thing is, yes, I've been watching since OG, but the past 2 seasons I actually skipped. I thought Vanderpump was as good as dead, honestly. I just started watching it this season, so a couple weeks before this broke. Like, I feel like just like my drama reality TV like senses were tingling, right? I'm so glad I did. I kind of want to go back and watch the past 2 seasons, because, I heard like how like Tom Sandoval pays like a crap load of money for James Kennedy's and Raquel's proposal, which like that's looking back is like super iffy now. And James Kennedy was like the first. Well, he was sending stuff to DeuxMoi, giving them all the tea. I think they found out that it was a 7-month long affair from James Kennedy, and he posted on his IG feed. This isn't a sharing of story, which would still be kind of juicy. He posted it on his IG feed where it lives forever. Like the Page 6 or TMZ kind of crazy headline breaking news. Ariana did deactivate her account almost immediately as the news broke, but she has been active through the other, like through Scheana, through Kristen, etc. Katie. They've been posting pictures and videos with her, so we know she's alive and well. I mean, well as well as she can be, right? But probably good for just take a second. But breaking news today, it's like 5:00 on Thursday, and her Instagram is back if you want to go show her some love and support. Scheana has also been very public with her reaction, but with the whole Raquel and Scheana altercation, I'm going to get into that later because that's a whole other can of worms. Let's talk Raquel and Tom and what is going on here. There was just a report that not only was Tom cheating on Ariana with Raquel, but cheating on Raquel with someone named Julia. Now, this is from Patrick Summers, who has also been very into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills drama. And I don't know as much about that. I'll try to do my research if it becomes important later. But Morgan P. Talks, who, I follow and is queen of Bravo, we also work together at Shared News. She posted, and this was good to know because I didn't really know much about him. She says, y'all, this Patrick Summer character cannot be trusted. Do we not remember the Beverly Hills situation? This man is a con artist. And I believe her. So we are debunking that. That is not correct. That doesn't really make it that much better. But the fact that I automatically believed it at first just shows kind of what I think of Sandoval. And now we've got this PR strategy, guys. So it was leaked to Demois kind of what is going on with Raquel's PR strategy. And she has actually fired her first PR team that is connected, who also is with Tom Sandoval, to do kind of her own thing and is going full in on playing the victim on all against Tom Sandoval, just kind of leaning on her being stupid, which is kind of an easy dig that a lot of the cast members have thrown at her. And so for her to lean into this, and I don't know if you guys watch Publicity or on Instagram or whatever, and she actually has a background in PR, and she's like, no, what you should be doing is just leaning into love story, right? Who could say no to love versus just playing a victim? I feel like it's just such... You aren't a victim, Raquel. I'm sorry, you're not. And so she should have just leaned in on, I love Tom so much. She's the love of my life. We had to, at least I would maybe respect her a little bit more for that. But the confusing thing is all the reports are saying that Tom and Raquel want to be together. They kissed on screen when they were filming Vanderpump Rules, because they are actually extending season 10. So we will be seeing everything fall out this season. They're extending it to get a couple more episodes to cover this. They have been filming an outside Ariana and Tom's apartment since the day this happened. And also the reunion is going to be happening in a week and a half. I got off on a tangent there, but what I was saying is it's just very... Okay, so she says this, and then we see that she has kissed Tom on camera. Then we see Tom at late night going to Raquel's apartment. Yet a TMZ or a Page 6 report says that Raquel is actually going after Tom, saying that she does not consent to the screen recording that Ariana found of Raquel allegedly touching herself. And so that's a whole other can of worms. But then you send that to the press, but then Tom's with you that night? You know what I mean? I just stay consistent. That's my problem. Let me read the full PR strategy that Demois posted. Raquel fired her PR team yesterday, which is not so coincidentally was the same as Tom Sandoval's PR. Her new team is already on the offensive, crafting a narrative that Raquel is also a victim in all this. When she films with Sandoval later today, she's been advised and is planning to break things off with him. I don't think that happened. To TBD if that happens. Oh, it doesn't. The plan is then go after him for screen recording the FaceTime sex section with Raquel's consent, which was uncovered by Ariana on Sandoval's phone and led to the unraveling of events. They're planning to allege that Sandoval took advantage of Raquel while she was in a vulnerable moment in her life, clouding her judgment and recording intimate videos without her knowledge. She will then do an apology tour, relaying that she's devastated by what has unfolded and betraying one of her best friends, Ariana. At present, Raquel is not taking responsibility for her role in the affair. She's more concerned about correcting the record of the finger banging vid than taking accountability for the hurt she has caused. And just for the record, she didn't have these ideas nor plans to distance from Sandoval until her new PR relayed her strategy to try and save her image. So let's go to the apologies. So Tom was actually, the day it happened, Tom posted an apology. The first of two. It's like, pick a lane, people. So Tom's first apology. Hey, I fully understand and deserve your anger and disappointment towards me, but please leave Schwartz, my friends, and my family out of the situation. Schwartz specifically only found out very recently and does not condone my actions. Bold-faced lie. Okay, moving on. This was a very personal thing. Also, Schwartz's Sandy's might have my name on it, blah, blah, blah. He just cares about his business. He does not mention Ariana once. No. Not a good one. And then days later, we get Tom's second, which is a little better, but not really. And it's very like PR-y, which, I mean, I get it, but let's read this one in full. I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt through this process. Most of all, I want to apologize to Ariana. I made mistakes. I was selfish and made reckless decisions that hurt somebody I love. No one deserves to feel that pain so traumatically and publicly. I can only imagine how devastating this has been for Ariana and everyone around us. I really feel horrible about that. My biggest regret is I dishonored Ariana. I never meant to disappoint so many people, including our loving family and friends. My love for Ariana was strong. My love for Ariana was stronger than any camera could have captured. But some of our best times together were never filmed. The same goes for some of our biggest struggles. I wish things happened in different order and our relationship was severely tarnished and that it ended with the same respect that I had when our relationship began. I owed Ariana better. I am beyond sad that it ended the way it did. The choices I made hurt so many people. I acted in a way that clashes with who and how I want to be. I will continue to reflect and work on myself. I have work to do. I always have. I always will. Well, ain't that the truth? And then we've got Raquel's, who she actually posted through Entertainment Tonight first, which I thought was a little weird. Raquel's apology, which is a little bit more heartfelt, like looking inward. I felt like it took responsibility a little bit more. Let's dive in. I want to apologize for my actions and my choices to Ariana, my friends, and the fans so invested in our relationships. There is no excuse. I am not a victim and must own my actions. I deeply regret hurting Ariana. In the time since this come to light, I'm reflecting on my choices, speaking to a counselor, and I'm learning about myself, such as the patterns of codependency and addiction to being and feeling loved. I have sought emotional validation through intimate connections that are not healthy within regard to my own well-being, sometimes negatively affecting others and often prioritizing the intimate connections over my friendships. I am taking steps to understand how my behavior and make healthier choices, and kind of so on and so forth. And I think I actually just started watching the Nick Viall podcast, the Georgia for Perfect Match episode, but before they do like a little VPR blurb. And I actually agreed with what Nick Viall says. I don't always. But on this one, he like actually feels like Raquel might actually try to help herself and get some help, go to therapist, figure out why she does this, make some changes for her future behavior. Tom Sandoval has been doing this shit since forever. Miami Girl, the OGs know. Like, he has cheated. He has done this over and over. He wants to be famous. There is no way he's not going to get help. I think he's so egotistical. He's a sociopath. And again, I'm just like, I'm not giving Tom Sandoval any leeway, honestly. Okay, so it turns out, so I did say that Raquel and Tom, they're all filming for the extended season 10 of Vanderpump Rules, and after, like, Tom and Raquel apparently kissed on screen, but then afterwards, he asked producers if they could refilm the scene because he felt like he was getting painted in a bad light. Like, how would they paint him in a good light is my question, first of all. But I guess producers kind of stood strong and like, no, we aren't redoing that. And he is now threatening to not film anymore. And Jax actually took to Twitter and he said he did the exact same thing with the Miami Girl. As soon as they were ready to film, he was nowhere to be seen. I think it was very short-lived. As we're doing this right now, would it surprise me if he's on camera right now? I don't think his ego would let him not take a moment to be on TV. You know what I mean? Even if it is bad. Like, sometimes you like a villain. He's not a likable villain, but still. And then late last night, again, I'm recording this on Thursday, so on Wednesday night, Raquel posted something else, and specifically her relationship, something about her relationship with Tom and where it stands, I guess. Besides the indefensible circumstances surrounding our relationship, my feelings for Tom have always been sincere and born out of a loving friendship. Knowing how many people we hurt, I need to understand my choices and learn to make better ones. I need to take care of my health, work on self-growth, and take time to be okay with being alone. I care for Tom, and I don't want to label anything or predict what lies ahead. Right now, I need to heal. So that makes me think that they're kind of like on a break. It also kind of, she's kind of sticking to, I mean, we only will know what was filmed when it comes out, but I'm just going back and forth of, is she going to stick to this PR thing and like distance herself from Tom? Or, I mean, they say that she doesn't say they're in love. She does not use that word. So I don't know. It was interesting. And I actually shared it on her Instagram. Raquel looked at it immediately. She was one of the first 5 people. So Raquel is on her social medias, people. I was like, oh geez. That means she's looking at what people are posting. And I'm a big mental health advocate. This is all fun, drama, messy reality television, right? But I do feel a little bit for Raquel, and not as much for Tom Sandoval, but I do for Raquel. So let's just keep that in mind as we're making videos. And these are real people, and they deserve compassion, except for you, Tom Sandoval. Okay, moving on to Scheana and Raquel's altercation, because the latest development just dropped right before I started filming this. So we knew that Raquel and Scheana, they did the Watch What Happens Live hours after Watch What Happens Live was filmed. Ariana called Scheana and was one of the first people to tell her what she found on Tom's phone. And Scheana was with Raquel, and allegedly there was an altercation. People said that Scheana punched Raquel. But then there's also been rumors swirling around that it's kind of leaning into Raquel's victim PR strategy, and it didn't even happen. So kind of was going back and forth like that for a while until Page 6 dropped pictures of Raquel's black eye. It wasn't like crazy gnarly or anything, but I mean, there was a mark. You could definitely tell there's kind of like darkness around her eyes. And in the restraining order, it said that she punched her and she also threw her up. Actually, oops, I gossiped again. Looked at the specific restraining order and in full and kind of told us what happened. She's a great one to follow, guys, if you are following this. So the alleged incident took place at 1:30 a.m. Push against a wall and punch in the face. Medical records and photos attached for support. An interesting request is to not include communication via telephone, email, etc., which means that they can absolutely communicate via Zoom for a reunion before the hearing on the 29th. So that means, because a lot of people were thinking that Raquel did this restraining order specifically to get out of the reunion, essentially. But it is interesting. Maybe they will just Zoom Raquel in, because I did hear, I don't know if this is fully accurate, did hear that she went back home. And to me, I think it's a whole kind of ploy not to be on the reunion, because it's not going to be a great place for her. And she might get away with it. I don't know. Then after the photos came out, it is swirling on social media that Raquel is lying and she actually had those marks before the alleged altercation. Let's take a look of what this person is saying. Okay, so I've tried to stay out of this whole thing. I think this is one of Scheana's friends. Oh, and Scheana actually liked this post. So I've tried to stay out of this whole thing, but one thing we're not going to do is lie. All these photos were before Watch What Happens Live, and then all of these so-called black eye was present. Raquel, this is not how you treat family, but again, everything comes to light. It's not about just coming for someone who is your best friend, but who's coming for someone who gave you everything to protect you, be there for you, and support you when no one else did. I can't sit back and watch you create narratives to save your own ass while trying to bring someone else down as a reflection. I hate that it's come to this, but enough is enough. So happy International Women's Day to the women who really stick by one another and uplift each other without tearing each other down. Please get the help you need, because this is sick. So that is developing, but Scheana just clapped back and specifically said that she did not give her a black eye and that Raquel was never punched. The entire case, this is by her lawyer, I think. The entire case is a fabrication by a known liar and a cheat who has betrayed everyone close to her. Scheana never punched Rachel, period. And the fact that it's Rachel. That's her real name, but she changed it to Raquel when she moved to LA. I call her Raquel throughout this whole episode just because that's how I know her from the show. And I know people are doing it as almost kind of like a dig, but whatever, Raquel. The supposed dark markings around her left eye have been there for months. No one in the Pump Rules cast is talking to Raquel. Neither Scheana or the cast members want anything to do with Raquel moving forward. So, hot off the press, Scheana is saying that it did not happen. Let's talk about the future of the show to wrap it up. Dumont posted this a few days ago, and I haven't seen anything additional of what this is going to be, which means that there might be another break in this case. Subject line: in the name of being honest. Message: this empty-headed supervillain confided in a friend who is about to drop some screenshots from December that are going to put the final nail in her coffin. They're talking about Raquel. So nothing has happened in that, but I feel like there's something more coming. So let's keep our eye on that, and let's talk reunion as well. I don't think Raquel will be there. If she is, she will have a segment and it'll be via Zoom. I don't think that there's anything in the world that will stop Sandoval from being there. Even if he gets eaten alive, he needs the attention, he needs the TV. Hot take. And that is everything you need to know about Vanderpump Rules as of Thursday at 5 o'clock. We have new episodes every Wednesday with me and my sister covering The Bachelor and Netflix reality shows. And then every Friday will be Bravo Banter with Kayla. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications on YouTube and rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Email us at stopwearingmyclothes@gmail.com or leave us a voice memo. And the link is right below. And so you could be on the podcast. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. It's at Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod, except for Twitter, which is only Stop Wearing My, because we ran out of room and our name is too long. So let us know. Give us all your thoughts on Vanderpump Rules drama in the comments. This is only the beginning.